Hello and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Fortune's Television News. I am Rahma Ibrahim Dosara. A war of words erupted on Sunday between the Zamfara State chapter of the All Progressives Congress and Governor Dauda Lawal over the persistent insecurity plaguing the state. The APC, through its spokesperson Yusuf Idris, accused Governor Lawal of failing to fulfill his campaign promise to end banditry within 3 months of assuming office. Malam Idris described the situation as having worsened under Lawal's administration, accusing the governor of neglecting his duties, while citizens continue to suffer under relentless attacks by armed groups. He stated that Governor Lawal must be preparing to celebrate his second-year anniversary with a failed promise which he made during his governorship campaigns ahead of the 2023 elections. He criticized the governor for what he called a nonchalant attitude, claiming Lawal often traveled out of the state during periods of crisis instead of showing leadership and empathy. Idris further dismissed the governor's claims that banditry victims receive free medical care at state hospitals, insisting that many victims are denied treatment due to the lack of funds. He challenged the governor to publish a verifiable list of beneficiaries, including names, locations, treatment costs, and official receipts, accusing the administration of fabricating claims for political gain. But in a swift reaction, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Media and Communications, Mustafa Gaura, dismissed the APC's allegations as baseless and unfounded. He defended Governor Lawal's approach to security, insisting that significant progress had been made since the current administration came into power. He pointed to recent initiatives including the recruitment of civilian protection guards and increased funding for security efforts as key elements in reducing the scale of attacks. Madam Gaura also reminded the APC that the Minister of Defense, Bello Matawale, who is a former governor of the state, is now part of the APC and shares responsibility in addressing national security. He accused the opposition of politicizing the state's challenges, urging them to stop deflecting blame and support ongoing efforts to restore peace. He stated that it is shameful for APC members to shift all blame to Governor Lawal, knowing full well he does not command the security agencies. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, says its operatives have rescued 19 girls suspected to have been impregnated by a man in Abuja. Hajia Bintabello, NAPTIP Director General, disclosed this during a meeting with Abike Dabiri Eriwa, National Chairman of Nigerian in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM in Abuja. She thanked Dabiri Eriwa for NIDCOM's support, especially in the recent rescue of 231 young Nigerians from Ghana. She said tackling human trafficking requires joint action from government and key stakeholders, stressing the need for more awareness across all levels. The Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (SANU) and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Allied Institutions has rejected the recent distribution formula adopted for the disbursement of the 50 billion naira approved by the federal government for university-based unions. The 50 billion naira is to be shared among SANU, NASU, and the National Association of Academic Technologists. However, in a statement, the non-academic unions expressed disappointment that 80% of the allocation was given solely to the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASUU), leaving only 20% to be shared among SANU, NASU, and NAT. This lopsided arrangement is grossly unfair, provocative, totally unacceptable, and capable of creating industrial disharmony, thereby further accentuating the teaching-non-teaching dichotomy in Nigerian universities. The statement said non-teaching staff of Nigerian universities are not second-class citizens, but are critical stakeholders who contribute immensely to the day-to-day functionality, administrative efficiency, research excellence, technical operations, and overall development of the Nigerian university system. The unions further lamented that the latest attempt to diminish our role and worth through this inequitable distribution is an injustice that we will not accept in silence. SANU and NASU urged the federal government to immediately review and reverse the recommended allocation formula, warning that going ahead with the distribution will only breed avoidable resentment and trigger widespread industrial disharmony, something they said the university system can ill afford at this critical time. Operatives of the State Security Service on Sunday arrested 2 high-profile suspected kidnap kingpins as they made to the path Nigeria for Saudi Arabia to observe the holy pilgrimage. Security sources disclosed that the suspected kidnappers had been on SS radar for over a year and that screening at Hajj camps in different parts of the country offered the operatives the opportunity to arrest them. According to the sources, SSS officers nabbed both kidnap kingpins at the Abuja and Sokoto Hajj camps. While suspected kingpin Yahaya Yakubu, who lives in Paikon Kore village in Gwagwalada Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, was nabbed at the Abuja Hajj camp, Zamfara-born Sani Aliyu Galadi was arrested nearly 750 kilometers away at the Sokoto Hajj camp. SS officers at the point of screening of both camps were able to recognize Zango and Aliyu and promptly arrested them. According to the security sources, Yakubu and Aliyu, alias My Boxer, who is suspected to be responsible for the attacks by bandits in the Sokoto-Zamfara axis, were obvious of the fact that SSS officers were still on the lookout for them. According to a source, Mr. Yakubu presented his passport alongside other Muslim travelers from Abuja who were on their way to observe this year's Hajj. An official at the Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board who didn't want his name mentioned also confirmed the arrest of the suspects. The source added that Mr. Aliyu has been flown from Sokoto to the SSS headquarters in Abuja and both suspects are currently detained there while investigations continue. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has appealed to the federal government to deploy decisive strategies that would ensure that Marte town does not fall to Boko Haram ISWAP insurgents. The governor, who was actively involved in coordinating security logistics till late in the night on Saturday, undertook a tour to assess the challenges faced in Marte while also exploring sustainable solutions to foster stability. Before Zulum's arrival, Marte was completely deserted following a Boko Haram attack last Friday, with thousands taking refuge in Dikwa town. Speaking to journalists on Sunday, the governor emphasized that his visit to Marte was to foster community cooperation, resilience, and continued support to the security agencies. He said Marte was resettled about 4 years ago, but unfortunately over the last 3 days it was ransacked and was displaced again. The governor reiterated his commitment to supporting security agencies in attaining lasting peace in Borno State, stating, "On my part as the governor of Borno State, I will do everything within my power to support our gallant military in their efforts towards lasting peace in our beloved state." And that's all we have for today's news. On behalf of the production team, Head of News and Current Affairs, I still remain Rahma Ibrahim Dosara. Do have a nice day.